And when they say like, why are you always so strict about screen time and phones and this? And I'm like, because I have these habits that I don't want you to have. So like even then, like they'll be like, well, look at your screen time on your phone. I'm like, well, I'm a grown adult.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Love SND. I am Dipti, your host, joined by my two wonderful sisters, Sheena and Nina. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, so today's episode is brought to you by Coco Melon and Peppa Pig and every show that has ever helped us survive mealtime and tantrums and those just be quiet for 10 minutes moments.
We've all had them.
So, we want to talk about and answer some questions that we got about screen time in our homes, which is very different amongst the three of us. Honestly, for all three of us, it's definitely been a lifesaver at some point in time. I know when the kids were little, we used to rely on Coco Melon and the bath time song and the going to school song and all those songs to just get through basic functions in the house. I know the twins were like that. I can literally remember sticking a screen in front of them and being like, take a shower. Um, so let's talk about the early days. When can you guys pinpoint when screen time started for you guys?
Oh my God. I feel like it was so long ago. I can't even remember.
I
It was
know.
literally almost 2 decades ago. No. Um, I think that like every parent, we've had to rely on screens a lot as much as we didn't want to. It kind of
Yeah.
came to the point where it was like we either lose our sanity or put a screen in front of them. From what I remember, I think it started and ended with meals. That was the hardest thing to like keep focus and be like, okay, just eat your food and
Yeah.
move along. I don't remember using screens in like showers or just like daily day to day sit down with the screen. And then as they grew a little, then it was occasionally we would take them to the restaurants, and that's when I thought, okay, we use screens because we were like, we don't want you running around like lunatics.
Yeah.
We just need like a peaceful meal. But then they kind of grew out of that too, because then they were able to communicate with us or speak to their friends or whatever it was. So that happened, and then eventually they got their phones, and now it's
Yeah.
like a free for all. No, I'm joking.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Neen, I don't actually remember the girls with a lot of screen time when they were smaller.
No, I mean, I think because I was a pediatric nurse, pediatric NP, and I was in the textbooks of all of this, we
Yeah.
were just anti-screens, if you remember. Like, we would not use screens ever for anything. And it was like if meal times took an hour and a half, they took an hour and a half of yelling and screaming and getting them to eat, but
Yeah.
we just refused to do screens. Now, in retrospect, was it detrimental? I don't know because sometimes I realized that when they would be in front of a screen, they would be glued because they never got it growing up. They would just be so zoned in that they couldn't detach versus because we also never have TV on in our house, right? Like that's a little bit different too. Whenever we're at different such as at least the TV's always on,
It's
or if
always
we're at
on.
Sheena, one of the TVs are always on, either in the kitchen or the family room. So it's, you've seen my girls, they get sort of like sucked in because they can't separate having access and not having access, if that makes sense. So I
Yeah.
don't know if it was good or bad, but I really don't even remember using screens. And I remember yelling at you guys for
Mhm.
using screens in front of the girls because then they would get distracted. And I'm, oh my God,
Yeah.
why?
For us too, like it was more of a survival mechanism than
Yeah,
anything else. It wasn't like we would there was no casual screen time. It
yeah,
wasn't like you get to sit and watch TV for 30 minutes. That didn't happen when they were younger. It was more of like I need you to eat this meal like Sheen said. I'll let you watch a little bit of Coco Melon or whatever to get through this meal. And then as they got a little bit older and Thea got more into sports, it was like, okay, well, now we're as a family, we'll watch sports together. But
yeah.
that it wasn't like there was no real casual, like, let's just sit and watch TV. Never. So now that they're older, we definitely are stricter. I know in my house, the kids now have to earn their screen time. So there's a certain set of chores that we have this whole program that, our therapist has told us to enforce just to get them to do things that they need to do, and then eventually it becomes habit. But so in our house, if they want like iPad time, they have to do certain things, right? Like put their stuff away. They have to get down in time to catch the bus. They have to not come into our room in the middle of the night. Things that eventually will become the norm. I know you guys are laughing because it's like, are your kids literally still doing this?
Also, I'm kind of like, what if one's not feeling well and they want to come and tell you? They'll be like, well, we can't go in there, otherwise we can't watch our iPad. Imagine.
No, there's exceptions, obviously. Like if they're sick, they're allowed to come. That particular rule is Callan's. It's like he knows he comes into our room all the freaking time because he heard a sound. And it's like, if you hear the sound 5 times, then yes, come into our room. If you hear it just once, do not come into our room until you figured out what it is.
Did you use white noise in this room?
So we did use white noise. And again, like things like white noise are for Callan is like an anxiety pleaser. Like it feeds into his anxiety as opposed to calming him. So like Dia will allow white noise if like there's like Sheena slept in his room a while ago, and there's like when it rains, it drips like the what do you call it?
So annoying.
The
It's
gutter
the gutters.
drips right outside his room. So like when sometimes it bothers him, sometimes it doesn't. So like if it's bothering him, we'll put the white noise on. But for Callan, he uses the white noise as like, I hear something outside and it's scaring me. Can you just put the white noise on? Like we can't, right? Because like you need to fight through that feeling of discomfort. So we don't. If it's something like I can't sleep and you guys are making so much noise downstairs, then yes, we'll put the white noise on. But if it's like I heard a sound, then no. And I know it's like it also breaks my heart because we've been so free with white noise, but then like his therapist and our therapist was like white noise is like not good for people with anxiety because it's like a short accommodation you're making them, and that only actually feeds into their anxiety.
Oh, who knew?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So what are your guys' screen time policies now? I feel like Sheena has a free for all for sure because
Mine
like
is
the
definitely
TV's always on in that house.
Mine is, I mean, I have teenagers at this point. Like, it's a free for all. Like, as far as free for all, let's just be clear. Like, during the week and even some weekends, they don't have time. Like, they're at school, they're studying, doing homework, or they have activities, and then all weekend, most of the weekend, they have games. So
Yeah.
essentially, they don't have that much time to just hang out and watch TV. So when they can, it's like now it's like instead of preoccupying them, it's more of a relaxation. They just kind of have this healthy balance of like, I'm going to put my feet up and like watch. And like, they're not like me. Like, I have this very, very bad habit of staying up late and watching the dumbest shows on the planet. And I even just talked about it yesterday with them. And I was like, I would really love to just turn the TV off or like turn my phone off and just go to sleep at like 10:30. I would love that because the amount of content I get fed on social media about how important sleep and exercise is after 40, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I was like, I need to just go to sleep. I need to like close my eyes and go to sleep at 10:30 and maybe wake up an hour earlier just so I can like be productive and refreshed. But like my habit is so bad now at this point. Like my eyes don't even shut before 12. Like I just can't even like close them and keep them closed before 12. Even if I try, like I'll lay down, I'm like, oh my God, so early. So
And then what? And then what? You just turn the TV back on?
no, it's just, then I'm like, the next time I'm like, forget it. I can't even sleep till 12 anyway. Why am I like trying so hard? So I want to like I know. It's such a bad habit. And when they say like, why are you always so strict about screen time and phones and this? And I'm like, because I have these habits that I don't want you to have. So like, even then, like they'll be like, well, look at your screen time on your phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm
But
a grown adult.
That's
you know?
that's the thing though, right? So like technically it's not a free for all in your house because we just stayed at your house. I mean, they're not allowed to be on their phones first thing in the morning. First of all, they're not even allowed to sleep near their phones. Their phones have to be charged downstairs. And then they're not allowed to like, wake up, come downstairs and get on their phones.
Correct.
They have to give them, I don't know, how long is
They have timing. Like everything's like their phones have like downtime, it's called. None of their apps or anything works between certain hours, but that's been since they got their phones at like 12. So at this point, it's been a few years. So they just know after a certain time, nothing's on, I'm not using it. Or before a certain time, nothing's on, I can't use it anyway. So it's just become a habit now.
What are your boundaries with screen time, Neen?
I hate phones. I hate everything. So I don't think the TV's ever on in our house until you guys come over, right? Or there's like a really big game and Neil's watching and screaming and yelling, and that's about it.
No, but you
But then
guys watch like
Friday,
baking shows and
yeah,
like
so Friday night, the girls do a movie. And then Saturday mornings, we'll always watch Food Network. And then that's it, really. Saturday night, we're home or they're home. They'll watch a movie or a show, depending on how much screen time like is left before bedtime. But that's it. I don't know. We just don't, we're not TV people. I don't know.
the girls are definitely TV people. Like Naya watches all her shows and like
So she watches Netflix on her computer.
yeah.
And only because she needs to be in the know because all her friends are talking about Gossip Girl. So she wants to watch Gossip Girl in a second.
So why don't you just let her watch it on the TV? It's probably better than staring.
Because Nessa can't be watching Gossip Girl.
That's the thing. So the age range of what's appropriate for my bigs versus my little is so different. So sometimes they'll be like, well, I'm gonna go watch this here and I'm gonna go. I'm like, no, 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 no. You guys all compromise onto one thing
Yeah.
that's appropriate for everybody because I don't like this. I'm gonna go watch here and watch it. And that was the other big thing that like I didn't even let you guys do it when your kids were little, but no screens in the bedroom.
Hmm.
And no TVs were allowed in the bedroom. Even now, they're not allowed to have their computers overnight in their bedroom, no phones in the bed. Like nothing is in their room except their clock and their bed. That's it. That's what your room should
Yeah.
be. And so she even, we talked about this last time about you having a TV in your bedroom and how you moved it sort of out of where you sleep. But the science says that your sleep environment should just be conducive to sleep. That's
Yeah.
it. When you
Yeah.
go there, your body knows I'm coming to sleep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, Neen, I know that you are crazy strict when it comes to phones because I just got in trouble for texting the kids while they were in school. So tell me what your policies are on phones.
Well, first of all, my policy is that their Masi should not be texting them during school hours. Rule number one.
Their Masi thought that they don't have access to their phones during school. My Masi had the thought in her brain, texted them, and assumed that they would check their phones after school when they're allowed to.
And then did they respond?
They did respond,
They
which
did.
at
And
that point I stopped texting them.
then did you respond back to them?
I don't think so. No, Sean and Shaylin responded. So I know that they're responsible with their phone usage. So we talked. But it was like, yes, Naya did respond.
Oh, she did. Which means
So hold on. So that means that you allow them to have their phones during school hours?
they are allowed to have their phones until this law passes when they can't. But until the law passes, they can. So anyway,
So they're allowed to respond, like they're allowed to check their messages and do all that because they
yeah.
did.
It's so obnoxious. Like the kids at school on phones, there's bullying, there's like people
Yeah.
taking pictures inside the school, people recording other people.
I think Nina's point also, our kids are of that instant gratification, instant response generation, right? It's in their nature to, if they get a text message, they're responding in like under 30 seconds. So when we can avoid that, like
During
take
school
the
hours.
actions to avoid that during school hours, we should. So that, I think that's why she said don't text during school, but they are allowed to be on their phones like during recess or lunch or whatever, or like
Yeah.
during downtime or whatever. They, it's not like they can't have their phones are in their locker from beginning to end. So
Yeah.
we just want to avoid them having interaction with it during school because it's a distraction at the end of the day. Right?
Yeah.
Well, again, I thought that they were not checking their phone, especially the girls. I, with your level of,
Naya and Neva lost their phones this morning. Neva didn't really care, but Naya, it was like the end of the world. So I was like, well, you made your choices yesterday, so you lost your phone today. Simple as that. But we are very like they charge their phones downstairs in the kitchen. When they come down, they have to have breakfast before they can check their phones. And then they can check their phones. And then, school happens. They come home. It has to go back on the charger. And then it's kind of as needed, but you can tell how many times they go up to where their phones are charging to check their phone. Neva's like maybe once in a while, but Naya is just like, well, this is going on Snap, and I'm just not on Snap. And I'm like,
How many times a week do you have that
I
conversation? I don't
swear to God.
like, do you not think it just
That girl does not
consumes
let up,
you?
though. She will
Huh?
not let up.
You don't think that that consumes your conversations? The fact that she doesn't have it?
No, it'll just come up every day, but then it goes. And then the best thing ever happened the other day. So Naya's out. She wanted to go downtown with her two buddies. So they go. And then I was like, okay, I'll pick you guys up. So they get in the car and I'm dropping them home. And she's like, Mommy, I really shouldn't tell you this, but the other friend, she's not allowed to have social media either. I was like,
Only need one partner in crime.
Don't you think that you started this episode saying that when the kids were little, you didn't really allow screen time, and now like they're glued to it because they didn't have all that exposure before? Do you think they're going to be like that when they go off to college and they have free range over their phones?
no. So Neil and I started reading this book, but it was about how kids need a purpose. Take their all that attention and energy and put it into the purpose over just socializing because they have nothing else to think about. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So this morning we're having this whole conversation with her. We're like, well, what type of things do you think you could care about a little bit more than how you look or what you wear or what your friends are doing and what they're talking about? Da, 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 da. And we understand it's all really important because it's eighth grade and oh my God, like the social thing, I get it. But I think now we're more focused on if we can help her find something she's passionate about to care about, then I think naturally she will care less about what's on the phone because she'll have something bigger to care about and contribute towards.
I understand where you're coming from.
I
I
know,
do. I do, but I think that's like very wishful thinking.
I know, I know.
I think that like
You know me.
I also because I compare Naya a lot to me. Like I just think that she will find her purpose and her whatever but you pushing her to do that now will maybe just take away from her kind of exploring and doing it on her own. It's almost like, what do you love? What do you love more than the truth of the matter is she loves nothing more right now than what's going on her phone and what people are wearing. And it's okay. It's not like she's like, what drug can I try next? Should I try this vaping thing that everybody's doing? It's like she cares about how they do their hair, what kind of clothes they wear, and who's going where, what time, and why, and where, like that, which is like such normal teenage things. Like it's like almost like let her do that for now in moderation, but just let her chill. Like
I mean, we
you
do.
I
No, we don't
no
take it away from her. We listen to all of
you
her
took it
bad.
away today.
Huh?
You took it away today.
Yeah, because she made choices yesterday and went to bed at like 10:30 or something. And we're like, no, 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 no.
What was the choice yesterday, out of curiosity?
Just had to go upstairs, get ready for bed, and get in bed by it was like 9:30, 9:45. And that's late. In this house, that's late.
Yeah.
And this jigga at like 10:45 is still lights on in her room, keeps the door closed. I was like, no, no.
What was she
What was
doing?
she doing? On
And
her phone?
no, no, their phones are
Oh.
downstairs. But they were told if they were not in bed by X time, that they would lose their phone. So Neva, was like 15 minutes past, but not an hour and 15 minutes.
Was she doing like homework or studying or something? Or just like
I don't know
chilling?
what she was doing. I was in.
Okay. Give her phone back immediately.
When she gets home. Here's the thing. If 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 life is full of empty threats, you get nowhere because kids learn that you're going to say stuff and you're not going to follow through. So who cares? Like, let them just keep saying what they're going to say. There are no real repercussions to my behavior. Do you see what I'm saying? So life can't be about empty threats. It's like, okay, if this happens and you will lose your phone, you got to lose your phone. I'm not taking it away for eternity. It's like a freaking school day.
Why not try if you do this, I will reward you, instead of a threat of losing something? Because apparently a reward is more effective than a punishment, is what we've
I
been
know.
learning.
What am I rewarding them with?
An
That they
extra, I don't know, an extra 30 minutes of screen time tomorrow, or
homework.
So figure
Um,
something out that would appeal them.
Go to Snapchat.
I think, yeah, I know. Well,
Like,
I think also,
I
it's like
feel like I'm
unless you have a
just
kid
an
like Cyan,
extremist. I'm an
I
extremist.
You are an
unless
extremist. It's
you
so
are,
like
you are, you are.
also her staying up past her bedtime has nothing to do with her phone. So like where's the correlation there?
No,
It's
it's
like the
just a
one thing.
consequence. It's a
Because of course,
consequence
the
of
only
her
thing they
action.
care about. It's literally the only thing. I'm gonna take away like one of your clothing. They don't care. You're gonna lose screen time. I don't care. Like you can't watch a movie Friday night. I don't care. But the phone, that's the only thing I care about.
But only for
So that's the
Naya.
only leverage we have.
But only for Naya, because like Neva and
That you
Cyan,
gotta
we could,
realize.
and same with Cyan. Like, I'm gonna take away your phone. He's like, I don't care, take it.
Yeah. But Neva's also not like she'll get her act together. She can like hurry up, be efficient, and do the things and be ready. Like get it done.
So
I feel
that's Nina's take on screen time. It's a hot mess of like hodgepodge of
screens,
like.
all of them. I hate all types of screens.
I think you find any excuse to just take them away.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
agree.
put the
I
wrong
agree.
shoe.
Literally, they're like, they breathe too loud. I'm taking your phone away.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what? That is your home. Like anything that they do wrong, their phones get taken away.
yeah. It's the only leverage. I don't know what you want me to do.
I think you can leverage Sephora.
Well, what about that? She already has all the products she wants. You know what these
I'm gonna
girls
take your
do?
blush away.
I can't.
Take our whole makeup bag.
I'll take
The
your
whole
makeup bag
thing.
away.
Let me tell you what these girls do now. I mean, Sheen, you probably already know this, but when it's somebody's birthday, there's this site called Go Wish or My Wish or something about a wish, and these girls populate an entire
Wish list.
present list, yeah, of like any website, any product, anything, and then their friends for the birthday must buy off this list. You're
It's
not
like
allowed
a registry.
It's literally a registry.
It's like a Sephora registry.
Birthday. Every birthday, everything. And I'm like, your base, yo, this is $99.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you? I think
That
like
is actually genius marketing on
theory,
whoever
yeah.
made this.
in theory, it's a good idea, but
Yeah.
it's like, what if I don't want to spend $95 on your seventh
Hello?
Yeah.
birthday?
Uh, hello. And so there's you remember like when we were little and to get like one thing would be such a big deal. I feel like there's no big deal to these kids anymore because they
Yeah.
get everything they want, either from their parents or these stupid lists where their friends are obligated to buy them these
Yeah. Yeah.
things. And so there's like that's what I'm saying. Nothing is of value to this generation because they just
Yeah.
get they're
Yeah. Yeah.
getting like there's no
Yeah.
like, oh, I really want it. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
do
God.
like
Having
extra hard to
boys.
get it. I'm gonna get an extra A. Look, not I give up.
We are so blessed with boys. I mean, literally.
You have Zuri, so good luck with that one.
I think that she's gonna be very similar to her boys because even now, like she has those girly tendencies, but like her relationships are very like you do you, I do me. I kind of love it.
She's also 4. I feel
Yeah,
like
I know.
you're also wishful thinking. What
I
are you,
know,
two,
I
like
know,
living in
I
La La
know.
Land today?
I know.
Literally.
I know. I feel like also we were talking about
She's gonna
screens.
be the top of them all.
No,
Actually.
no.
Yeah.
She's
She's gonna be
top.
like, Daddy, buy me Sephora, the company.
I need my own store, Daddy.
Yeah.
I need my own store. And it must have clothing, makeup, jewelry. And you're gonna love it. Well, mind you, you also told my children that it's okay if your mom won't let you get highlights. I'll take you this summer. So now they're like Googling pictures of highlights.
I
And
didn't
I'm
say
like,
when. I said when it's time, it's my thing that I get to do with them. I said when your mom lets you, I will take you. Wait, is it this summer?
that's
I
what
know.
it was after I yelled at you for saying I'm going to take you this summer.
No, I never said. She told you I said that I was going to take her this summer. I never gave her a time. I know better than that to be like, oh, I'll take you without your mom telling me. Are you crazy?
No.
I'm still the younger sister here.
send the girls to me. I'm gonna get their hair highlighted. And
No,
I was like, no, they're too young. And you're like, no,
that
it's
didn't
fine.
happen.
Let me
That
have
didn't
let me
happen.
have my sleep with them or something. I was like, you want to see
Did not
freedom? What should we? I
Like
should be
literally
freedom.
making up a story in her brain. I don't even understand.
I'm not gonna make it.
You're gonna make it.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
make
make
it.
it.
I'm gonna make it.
Okay, hold on. I want to talk. The last thing I want to talk about when it comes to screens is group chats, which is, I think, obviously my kids are very young for this. I just found out that the fourth grade boys have a group chat on their iPad. And I was like, the less DF knows, the better. But after watching Adolescence, I feel like I'm so traumatized that I would probably never let them be in a group chat. So, what is your situations when it comes to group chats?
We try to be very, very open in terms of, are they safe? Is anybody bullying you? Are you like comfortable in your chat? Like, there's no saying you can be in this group and you can't be in that group,
Do
especially when
you
they,
read them?
huh?
Do you read them?
No, but we threaten to read them all the time, but we don't read them.
Empty threats.
Empty
Empty
threat?
threats.
I know,
I'm
but
the opposite.
I don't want to read what's happening in there because it's like this person likes this person now doesn't like this, but I'm like, oh my God.
Mm.
I'm the opposite. The boys have a gabillion group chats, and because they have Snapchat, it's even more. And when they first started them, I actually did read them and was quite literally traumatized because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys know this? Oh my God, you use this emoji? Do you know what it means? And not that they, like, I was just reading it in the chat. And I would just randomly take their phones and just read these group chats. And I'm like, what is everybody talking about? Like, I just want to see. And they know, like, they're not allowed to say anything inappropriate. They're not allowed to curse. They need to be very concise because I like drill to them that anything you type is there forever and ever and ever. Even
Yeah.
if you try to delete it, it's there. So
Mhm.
like they're very one word or short little answers, but like the things the other kids say and the emojis they use, I'm just like,
Yeah, that was the whole
so
thing in adolescence.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's traumatic. I mean, they're very like sexual emojis more than like I want to kill myself or like, like threatening emojis. So in my opinion, because I don't know all these emojis either. So if I don't know, I'll ask. I'll be like, what is this entire thread or whatever this conversation or comment mean? And they'll tell me. And it's like it's most of the time it's not a big deal. Like it's just like some references that I'm like, you really shouldn't be talking like this, but whatever. Like you're also teenagers at this point. So
Yeah.
it's fine. So I do read them, but again, I give them freedom because like we've talked about this same thing with like the social media and all of that. Like I trust that they're making smart decisions and I have to just believe that what I say and teach them, they implement and they, understand and they value and they move forward with that. But I do randomly check them only because I'm just curious what they're talking about.
The craziest thing is that Naya showed us one of the threads that was happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, now these kids will just use the first letter of every word in the sentence,
Mhm.
and then you have to like decode it. So
Oh.
one sentence was like, is this girl for real right now? Now imagine it's just the first letter of every word. You're like, what are you trying to say? I'm like, is there an urban dictionary? Like,
Throw it into ChatGPT. Be like, can you please help decipher this thing?
I'm like, dude, these people take it to the next level. So even if you check the text message, you're not going to know what the hell they're talking
Yeah.
about.
Sometimes you don't even know what's
Yeah, but I
happening.
also love that the kids are so open with you guys to
Yeah.
tell you what's going on in these chats, and like, a lot of kids aren't because their parents are probably going to freak out and take their phones away.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like the whole thing, right? So like when even this morning when we were talking and we were saying something to Naya, and I'm like, oh well, what about your future boyfriend? Da 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 da. And it's like if you act like these things are not going to happen, then they're not going to be open with you because you're not facing reality, right?
Yeah.
You know they're going to eventually start dating. You know eventually you're going to meet somebody and they're like, oh, this is my boyfriend or girlfriend. You know what I mean? So we shouldn't act like they're leading these lives that are going to be super innocent for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just being open with them, and then they'll be open with you because they understand that you understand the age and stage in life that they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
I
that's
I
still
true.
don't
do
need it.
agree that there probably are a bunch of group chats, texts, whatever, emails, pictures, whatever that they don't share. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not naive to think that they share everything with me,
Yeah.
but what they do share, I feel like I get a good idea of like the general area of chatting and sharing. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good.
yeah,
Like sometimes I'm like, guys, can it just be a little bit more exciting? So like, who cares what the score was of the last game?
yeah. But I
Yeah.
do think it's really, 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 really important to let these kids know that once it's out there, it's there forever.
Forever.
Whether
Yeah.
it's a text, a picture,
Mhm.
a comment, anything. So, like, be very, very, very mindful.
All right. Well, that is our episode today on screen time. If you related, laughed, or just felt a little less alone in this parenting circus, share the episode with another mom or anybody else who's probably,
Dad.
I don't know, hiding in a pantry on their iPad right now.
Yeah.
And if you've got a question or topic that you want us to tackle, let us know. We love hearing from you guys. And let's be honest, your questions absolutely give us life. So thank you for hanging with us today. We'll see you next week for some unfiltered sister stories and mom truths. And as always, thanks for listening. With love, S&D.
Bye.
Bye.